Hey guys, so I'm having some hot chocolate here and I felt like sharing this song. This song has been on my mind this evening and I had it playing while I was in here cleaning a little bit, and I was just reminded how, God's always like on time, like every time that we need him, he's there. And even at times when we didn't think that he was there, like he's always been there. And I'm thankful for that. Like he has been so good to me, like so good. And I couldn't ask, more from him, because every time, everything that I need, he's always there. And I'm thankful for that. He has been everything to me, everything. Even at times when I strayed and, I felt like I lost my way, I never did, because he was always there. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for his mercy and his grace, and just every time that he's kept me and my kids and family. If you think about it, like how many times have you been like out and about on the road, and like that one slip of like something could change instantly and you could like get in a wreck or anything like that, but God's always there. Like that's happened to me a couple of times. And I remember one time I was coming back home from church. This was like years ago, and Katie and Gracie were little. I don't even think Gracie was born. I think I just had Katie, and she was probably about a year old. And we were driving home from church. Like, I lived in Rockwood at the time, which I still do, but I would drive like an hour to attend my Holiness Church every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. And anyways, we were driving back, and it was just me and her. And it was dark, and we were driving, and like this car like kind of slowed down, and like I was going about 55 down through there. And what had happened, a deer had jumped in front of him. And I don't know how it happened. Well, I do. Like it was God. Like I know it was. But anyways, my whole car moved over. Like literally moved over. My hand didn't move or anything. It just like moved over on the other lane. And, that was one time that Jesus was there watching over us and protecting us. And, he's been there through sickness and through death. Just so many things that I just can't thank him enough for. There's been times in my life, like when I lost my parents and especially my mom, whenever she passed away, like I literally didn't think that I could make it. Like my heart hurt so bad, and it took years for me to be able to accept it. Like at least a good 5 years to accept her death. And, my heart hurt so bad, but during those times of the sadness and like the loneliness and just my heart breaking and shattering in two, God was there. And even when I couldn't feel him, even when I couldn't see him, he was like right behind my back. And I'm thankful for that. Like I'm so thankful for that. And a lot of times in life, like I've learned throughout my struggle and my journey, sometimes in life it takes us to hit rock bottom, to the very bottom, to be able to look up and see that, he is all we need. And I've been there. Like I have literally been to the bottom, to where I didn't think that I could get back up. I didn't think that I could, overcome situations and things that happened to me in my life. I just felt like I was stuck and that I was never going to make it and get out of there. But God's mercy was there and his grace was there. And the whole time he had his hand upon me. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the stumbling blocks that encountered in my life. I'm not thankful that I've let them down during that time, but I'm thankful that it opened my eyes and it brought me back to him. Because at the end of the day, with whatever we're faced with, sickness, death, uncertainty, this crazy world that we're living in with COVID, and I mean the whole world's changed. Like just even going to restaurants and stores, and people's changed. People's hearts changed. Like, a lot has just, like, their hearts so cold and evil, and it's a bad time. But even during this time of uncertainty, God's there, and His grace is there. And if we could just realize, I'm kind of hardcore about, like, if we go somewhere and my kids are with me, like, I pass around hand sanitizer and all this stuff. And Gracie or Katie one had said something to me today, like, have faith or something like that. And she's said it to me time and time again. And, like, that's the key. We have common sense to use, like, hand washing and all that stuff and be cautious and all that. But, like, we have got to keep the faith. We have got to, trust in God, because during all of this crap that's going on in the world, God knows exactly what's going on and what's going to happen. So sometimes in life, we just have to, take a hold of that and know that He's in control and He's all that we need. And my chocolate's going to get cold. I got to hurry. But even in the season of change in my life, the past 3 months, going on 3 months, the change sometimes can be scary. It can be overwhelming. But when you know that the change is for the good and God's hands upon it, you have that peace. Even though that you're, kind of shaky about it, you have that peace that God's there. And I'm thankful for that. In life, we don't thank God enough. None of us do. I mean, we can thank Him and thank Him and thank Him, but, like, we can never thank God enough for the goodness that He's done for us. And all the times that He kept me, like, I can't even express it, because I know if His hand wasn't leading me and, like, protecting me, I wouldn't be here. Like, I know that. I have been at death's door before with my heart and stuff, and I have literally prayed on the ambulance. I told him, I said, I could feel that I was going to die. And I told him, I said, God, I said, if there's anything in my life, please forgive me. And I was just kind of like during the time I was scared, because my heart was going all crazy and I was by myself on the ambulance and they were trying to stop it and all this. And I prayed that prayer, and I was praying, and I was talking to my mom. I said, well, Mom, I guess I'm going to meet you. And the moment that I said that prayer, I could feel my mom cover over me, and I could feel God's presence just cover over me. And the whole ride to that hospital, like, I wasn't scared anymore. And times like that, He shows Himself. He shows Himself time and time again. And I'm just thankful for that. And I'm rambling because that was just up on my heart, and I just felt like sharing that, and I just felt like thanking Him, because He deserves it. He's been so good to us. And, no matter what storm in your life that you're in, no matter the loneliness, the heaviness, the heartaches, no matter if you're chained by sin that's got you bound, maybe it's drugs or alcohol or whatever it is, whatever has got you bound, if you literally call out to God 100%, He will take that away and He will deliver you. God's delivered me through a situation in my life about 3 months ago, and when His hand's up on it and He delivers you, there's nothing that can stop it. There's nothing that can, hold that, withstand it, because when you're at the bottom and you're crying out to God, He will take that away. Trust me, I am one to say that, because I was literally running from God, and I wasn't running from God because I hated Him or like I was upset with Him. I was upset with myself, and I was upset with situations in my life, mistakes that I've made, and just like divorces that I had went through, and just the whole thing. And I was running, and I was scared, and I was hurt, and I felt alone. But the whole time, even though that I trusted in God and I loved God and I was saved, I didn't fully 100% trust him. There's a difference between saying, God, I love you and I need you. But when you fully 100% trust him and believe that he will deliver you, or he will set you free from chains of sin that had you bound, he will do it. Because I was one to pray, God, take this thing away that I'm battling with. God, remove it. And I would pick it back up. But I was in my own self. Like, I felt like I could do it. But I'll never forget the moment that I prayed to God, and I just literally said, I can't do this no more. You're going to have to help me. Like, I was at the lowest of the lowest, the bottom of the bottom. And I was, raised in church all my life, and I believed in God, but yet I was not doing what God called me to do. And Satan had so many traps, and he had blinded me so much. But the moment that I said that prayer, he took it away. And it's the past 3 months. Now, I'm not going to say that, like, I don't miss my family, and I long for them, and sometimes I get sad and my heart hurts. That's normal. That's life, because we're all going to do that. But I can say these past 3 months, my life has been so much brighter and better. I can see clearly, and I'm thankful for that. And the only one that's done that, and the only one that I can give thanks for that, is God. So if you're battling with anything, I don't know who this is going to. It may not be going for anybody, but I believe, we each have a test, and it becomes our testimony. And I, for one, have watched people's videos on Facebook. There's churches that I've watched that's helped me. And, I believe if God puts something on your heart, you need to do it, because you never know who is going through things. We all are going through life, and we're all going through this journey, and we've got to help each other. So if there's anything that I can say that I've been through, that God's brought me through, I'm going to share it. And a lot of times, in my life, I had felt like so unworthy of his mercy and his grace, and because I had let him down so many times. But then God reminded me that he loves me, and he died upon the cross for you and me, because he loved us that much. So no matter what you're going through, no matter what you've done, no matter what you faced, trust me, God is there, and he wants to be the one to lead you and guide you. And
yes, he does.
Yes, he does, and take control over your life, because when you fully give it to God, Gracie's in here dancing. When you fully give it to God and trust him wholeheartedly, he's all you need, and he will see you through. I'm telling you, he will see you through, and he will deliver you. And the past 3 months, God has totally blown my mind. Just totally. Like, I've seen his hand upon it in my life. Like, he totally lifted so many heavy burdens off of my heart and off of my mind. And he strengthened me more than I ever thought that he would do. Like, I felt so weak at times, but he literally proved himself to me so strong in the past 3 months. And, like, I'll never forget it, that morning. It was on a Wednesday, and I was out here, and I was drinking coffee, and, like, I literally had hit rock bottom. Just everything. Struggles of life, work situations, just everything. And I sit out here. It's typically my routine. I'll go out here in the mornings and read my Bible, read my inspiration stuff, write in my journal and stuff. And that morning I had watched a video. It was Sharon, I think Sharon Stewart's her last name, but she was singing and speaking and all this stuff, and I shut it off, and I was writing in my journal, and I was reading, and I was praying, and I started writing in my journal. And God literally gave me a word, like as I was writing. Y'all can think I'm crazy, y'all can do whatever, but that's the day that God delivered me and set me free. And I was just writing away, gave me the word. And I'll never forget the moment that I set my cup down, set my pen down, set my paper down, and I literally put my hands up in the air and was thanking God. I could feel His presence, and I could feel the Holy Ghost wrap around me. Hadn't felt that in a long, long time that morning. And but guys, He's there and He's real, and He wants us to trust in Him wholeheartedly, because there's going to be a day that the day's here already. I feel it, like we are going to have to realize that He's the only one that's going to see us through this mess down here below. The only one. But anyways, whatever you're faced with, trust in God, because He will help you. So I'm going to try this. I like this song, and it was on my mind and heart. And just remember, again, whatever chains that have you bound, just please give it to God. Don't let Satan feed you with lies. Don't let him tell you that you're no good. Don't tell him that don't let the devil tell you that you went too far, that you can never get back, or people's going to talk about you, or people's going to look back on the things that you've done. Don't let Satan fool you, because he wants you to think that. He wants you to be kept where you're at. But if you release that and let God in, God overrides the devil, and He will take all that mess away. You are more than enough, and God loves you. Just remember that, guys. So I don't know who that went to, if it went to anybody, if it just went for me to get it out, to release it or whatever, but I hope it touches someone's heart. So I'm going to give this a try. It was on my mind tonight, so David sang the praises of the glory of Jehovah. Paul preached that all lost, save knowing Christ. A little John said He is precious, and by leaning on His bosom, so for a moment may I humbly testify. And did I mention that I love Him, and how I worship and adore Him, when I can see no way, He makes a way? And did I mention He's been faithful to every promise He ever made me? I love Him, and that's all I want to say. And how many sermons can be preached about this Jesus, and how many songs can be sung about God's Son? See, there are not enough words and enough notes in the music to tell the story of all the Savior has done. how I worship and adore him when I can see no way, and he makes a way. And did I mention how he's been faithful to every promise he ever made me? I love him, and that's all I want to say. And did I mention he's been faithful to every promise he ever made me? I love him, that's all I want to say. And I love him, and that's all I have to say.